Hops are used extensively in brewing today for their many benefits, including balancing the sweetness of the malt with bitterness and contributing a variety of desirable flavors and aromas. Historically, it is believed that traditional herb combination for ales were abandoned when it noticed that ales made with hops were less prone to spoilage. Slovenia currently grows about 2 to 3% of the world's hops and ranks 5th worldwide behind Germany, the US, China, and the Czech Republic. While small, I'm very interested in learning about the country's sophisticated breeding program, which is developing some of the most interesting flavor hops for brewers to play with. I'm Jeff. I just retired from the military, sold everything I own, and now I'm traveling around the world to learn from brewers, winemakers, distillers, and tell their story. This is my journey of beer, wine, and spirits.
I've been with hops since I was a little kid. My dad took me on his tractor. He used to drive me around, and it's just something that kind of grows into, or as we like to say it, once you get scratched by hops, you're infected forever. It's true, you know, I wouldn't want to do something else, you know? Yeah. I wouldn't want to have an office job. This is what I love, yeah. First, we take a sample of the field and then we bring it to a lab at the Slovenian Institute for Hop Research and Brewing. They test for alpha content, so those are the acids that make your beer bitter. And then they measure the moisture content. And if those fit into the regular numbers that we're looking for, then I go to that field again and then I use my nose. I smell it, I rub it, and then I know. And then we bring in the tractors, the vine loader we call it. It cuts the vine on the bottom and then it pulls it alongside the tractor and then it holds it a little bit so it snaps off the whole vine right on the cart.
Leva só agora, hein? Pode ficar. Still hit one. Yeah. Hey, be careful. Watch your head, man. I was doing, but it was just like, it's pretty interesting. So I failed.
Even he's surprised. No.
I was trying to keep it in, but
I always say that.
I was trying to keep it in. Yeah. It came out.
Jeff, how was that?
Man, it was absolutely crazy. You gotta watch the hop vines coming down. It was funny because it was, as we're going through, it's just like raining hops.
Yeah.
Just raining down, you know, and you gotta kind of watch yourself because it's just coming down. But I think the biggest thing is just keeping it inside the trailer was the biggest thing when you're, I can just imagine if you had to do that by hand, like coming through and having to do this by hand. I mean, the machine made light work of that, as you can see.
After the cart is full, we bring it back to the processing facility. What we do here is we drop the load off the cart and then the worker picks up vine, puts it in the machine grabs it and it brings it all the way into the machine. We have these spinning drums that have little fingers and they spin very fast. That's how they strip leaves and cones from the vine. The vine goes into waste and then we move the leaf and the flower material on the conveyor to the separator, where it uses gravity to separate the leaves and the cones. How it does that is we put it on an angled conveyor, the cones roll down on it and the leaves just go up, and that's the simple magic of it. And after that, when you have your cones separated, which is what you want, we put it on a conveyor to what we call a green hop silo, and this is where the hops wait for it to be their turn to be kilned. Not killed, kilned. Some people may make the mistake of mistaking those two words. After the green hop silo, we put them on another conveyor. That conveyor brings it on the top of the oats. This is a special machine we have on there. It just sorts all those hops into one flat level. And we leave it in this level for 2 hours or so, depending on the, you know, all different factors, the humidity outside, the wetness of the hops, the temperature of kilning and all that. Then we drop it a level down. The O's got 3 levels, and the top and the bottom level pulls out, like we call it a hop drawer. This is where you check if your hops are correctly dried. Nowadays you can get a sensor for that, but here at Rojnik Hops we still firmly believe that this is the best sensor you can have. It just takes a while training it. So after it's dried, you drop it in the conditioning chamber where we condition it back to 10.5%. Anything between 10 and 11 is ideal. And now we package it into bales. And after it's full, this giant press comes down and pushes it together so they're squashed. This eliminates the oxygen from the bag, which is good, because oxygenation is the big enemy of beer and hops and all that. And after that, you fold the top, you sew it, you weight it, put the weight in the computer so you have it in your system. You gotta put your sticker on. This is a geographical indicator of that this, in fact, are Styrian hops, only grown here. Then you're done. Then you brew. A lot of people think, yeah, it's just hops. No, it's not. There's a couple hundred varieties of hops. What Slovenian hops are famous for is their distinctive flavor and aroma. I wouldn't necessarily use a word better than American hops because every hop is good if it's packaged correctly, but I would use the word different, special, you know. From American perspective, this would be something like a premium product, if you will. Not everybody can get these because it's a limited quantity, and they got this special aroma and character that world's best brewers are so interested in, even though you cannot get a lot of it. If I plant them in, you know, US, they're not going to be the same. This is what terroir is, and this has been becoming more and more important in the hop biz lately, only for the past couple of years now, whereas wine growers have been doing that for God knows how long, you know.
How much hops are produced per season?
It depends on the year, because this is a natural crop, and of course the weather and the climate have a big impact on this. But generally we're aiming in anywhere between 70 and 80 metric tons. Slovenian total hop production is roughly about 2,000 to 2,500 tons. Slovenia's brewing needs are anywhere around 70 tons. As I like to say it, our farm can cover the whole Slovenian needs for hop. So this is the most exported product percentage-wise in the country. We export to a lot of countries. Our biggest markets are the US, Germany, also England, China, Brazil. They're exported everywhere. We didn't smell the hops like we do now 10 years ago. This was unintentional, but it became a huge trend, especially with the craft beer world emerging, you know? And this is now the way to determine hops. Before that, it was all just numbers, and it was not as fun business as it is now. There's definitely more involvement of the brewers, which I love because I get the feedback head on, you know. It's just not some guy in a suit telling me, yeah, this number was slightly off. It's a guy like you telling me, I love this citrusy smell you did this year, you know. It's a huge difference. This hasn't happened before. This has been going on for the past few years only. Now, I must say, I really, really enjoy it, you know. It was enjoyable before, but this is fun, you know. I get to meet people, and I get to meet the brewers, I get to try their beer, you know.